I'm Jada Martin.
I'm Megan Franks.
I'm in your first period class,
I'm in your 7th period class.
and we did our project on the tropical rainforest. The climate of the tropical rainforest is very hot and wet. The average temperature for tropical rainforests is about 80 degrees Fahrenheit all year round, with the exception of cold nights. The temperature of a rainforest has never dropped below 64 degrees Fahrenheit. It rains about 160 to 400 inches each year. There are lots of humidity in a tropical rainforest. The humidity of a tropical rainforest usually falls between 80 to 95%, depending on whether it's a day or night. There are no seasons in the rainforest, and the weather is basically the same thing every day. It's hot, humid, and rainy. It almost seems as if it's always summer because of this.
One of the many exotic plants in the tropical rainforest is the Bengal bamboo. It grows tall and fast so it can get sunlight in order to survive. Coconut tree grows near the seas in these areas so the roots can find moisture and survive. Another one of the plants is the strangler fig. It has an amazing adaptation to survive in the rainforest. It has a difficult floor for the seedlings to grow because there is a lot of competition for the water and the nutrients. Strangler figs have made the adaptation to avoid these difficulties. They climb up the trees to get sunlight. Another cool fact about the strangler fig is that it strangles the tree that it's climbing and kills it to get the nutrients. That's how it gets the name strangler fig.
3 examples of animal adaptations. Toucans have adapted by developing a long, large bill. Having this long and large bill allows the toucans to reach the fruit on the branches that would be too small to support their weight. The sloth uses a behavioral adaptation and camouflage to survive in the rainforest. With its dark colors, predators are less likely to find and kill the sloth. Poison dart frogs. They have very bright colors which warns other animals that they are poisonous and gives off a warning so other animals don't eat them.
As human population grows, the need for agriculture, energy, and development spaces increases with it. Tropical rainforests cover massive amounts of the world's tree surface. Over each year, 90,000 square miles of the forest are harvested for human use. This deforestation has worried environmentalists because of the release of carbon from the machinery and the vegetation. It is believed that deforestation may accelerate the effects of global warming and transform the rainforest climate. Tropical rainforests harbor 50% of the world's biodiversity. The massive deforestation of the forest has caused the total landmass to go from 15 million squared to about 8 million. This is nearly half. It is estimated that nearly 2% of the rainforest is lost annually.
Symbolic relationships. Mutualism. The chumpkin, monkey, and flowering trees. When the monkey feeds on the nectar from these flowers, it gets pollen on its face, which then transfers to other flowers. The trees provide the chumpkin species with food, while the chumpkin monkeys facilitates pollination of flowers of the tree. Commensalism. Army ants and antbirds. The army ants march on the forest floor, which shakes the trees and knocks insects onto the ground. Then the antbirds eat the insects. The antbirds are benefiting by getting food, while the army ants aren't getting harmed. Parasitism. Leeches attach and feed on the blood of animals. The leeches benefit from getting blood while the animals are harmed.
Precipitation. Rainforests release water vapor by transpiration through the leaves and evaporation. The loss of water to air by leaves is a critical part of the water cycle of the earth, as by this means the water vapor content in the air is continually replenished. More than 50% of the precipitation striking the rainforest return to the atmosphere by evapotranspiration, and consequently related little end up in the rivers and other waters. Water regulation. The movement of water into rivers and the waterways is modulated by forest vegetation. Vegetation increases the ability of soils to retain, preventing floods and erosion. Since the forest is intercept much as 50% of the rainfall, it will prevent much soil loss, which might otherwise occur from the impact of rain on the land surface. Water passes from the rainforest to the rivers and streams much less force, reducing erosion and the threat of floods.
Limiting factors. 2 density-dependent factors. 1. Human slash and burn agriculture. 2. Humans hunting the wildlife in the rainforest. 2. Density independent. Sunlight gets top layer like trees. 2. Natural forest fires.
Nitrogen is an essential nutrient element for all plants and animals. There is large reserve of nitrogen in the air, but it's all chemical form, which is unavailable to plants and therefore must be fixed into usable form as nitrates and nitrites by oral microorganisms. As much as 130 metric tons of nitrogen is fixed annually by terrestrial systems, in this available use for plants. Nitrogen is released into the soil and when plants die, or when herbivores, which they have consumed the plants that died, and extract nitrogen compounds. Humans have greatly altered this cycle by their own fixation of additional, and by this release the nitrogen into the atmosphere by fossil fuel combustion and land conversion.
This is an example of our food web with our 10 animals. Three examples of specific research competition. 1. Squirrels require oak trees and their acorns for food. They compete with chipmunks and deer and acorn weevils for the acorns. They must avoid predators like these hawks. 2. Harpy eagles live in trees, eating the smaller animals, which keeps the population down. 3. The kinikajou eats fruit, nectar, and insects. By eating fruits, it spreads the seeds and makes new trees. The kinikajou also eats termites, so the termites can't harm the trees.
This is our climate graph.
Yeah, that's our climate graph.
And this is energy lost through the weather.
And you can see that every time 10%
Is lost.
yes is lost.
Or wait, 10% of energy is going through, 90% energy is lost.
Yes, 90% energy is lost. Or no.
90% of energy is lost and 10% energy is gained.
Okay. And this is we used a lot more sources in this, but we just listed 5 that we used.